You're still watching Ways. Now, the theme for this year's World Habitat Day is accelerating urban action for a carbon-free world. The theme recognizes that cities are responsible for some 70% of global carbon dioxide emissions, with transport, buildings, energy, and waste management accounting for the bulk of urban greenhouse gas emissions. Now, events and activities during World Habitat Day would explore how national, regional, and local governments and organizations, communities, academic institutions, the private sector, and all relevant stakeholders can work together to create sustainable, carbon-neutral, inclusive cities and towns. World Habitat Day will amplify the global race to zero campaign and encourage local governments to develop accountable zero-carbon plans in the run-up to the international climate change, that's COP26 in summit in November 2021. So happy World Habitat Day. This is very important, my dear. For those people that are wondering what this is all about, I mean, we've seen some level of, I mean, this year has been interesting in terms of climate change and global warming. You could literally see what they've been preaching for years, you know, happen with so much flood, and the way our weather changed. You know, when we're supposed to be experiencing rain, we're not experiencing. We're experiencing a different month. It was just crazy this year. So, as much as possible, if people can, I mean, we're actually really hoping that we can have less carbon emission to just help our planet stay safe.
I don't know that we're on that table in this country. I mean, look at the cars we have on the road. We're not getting there. Well, look at the cars on the road. Look at the trucks that we have on the road. Look at what we're doing in terms of, I mean, development is great from a real estate perspective. We have a severe housing shortage, but I mean, the way we're doing it, you know, almost lacks planning, you know, places, erosion and things are happening. So, I mean, there's so many things that affect us locally that we need to be more thoughtful about and more aware of how we can create solutions. Because what we're doing is we're kicking the can down the road and we're creating long-term solutions, long-term problems that we'll have to deal with in the future. All this Eco-Atlantic and how that's eroding the water line. I mean, there's so many things to think about, but as we like to say, problem no dey finish in this our Nigeria. So
yeah, I think we just have so much immediate problems that we're not paying attention to the environment, even talking about World Habitat Day. Like, what does that even mean for someone who has not been able to feed? So we just don't care. I remember the conversation we were having in terms of the day we were talking about energy and talking about methane causing the fire that goes off
at Olushosu.
And when that happens, you know what the environment usually is like. Nobody's paying attention to that. Nothing comes out of that. So when it comes to environment and we're not close to doing anything right in that area in Nigeria at the moment. But
well, I should think that we have actually improved, because I mean, from Fashala's time, a lot of planting of trees happened. You know, even with this, with Ambody as well, a lot of greenery. So we're seeing a lot more paying attention to creating deliberate parks, you know, that is filled with green plants and all of that. So I think there's some level of deliberate. And, you know, when I was growing up, we used to see loads of all these trucks with bad carbon emissions when they're driving, you see. But those things have actually reduced to some extent. I don't see them as much as it was in those days. So I think that consciousness is coming. We're not there. Obviously,
I mean,
we're not there.
I get you, but it's not just about planting trees.
No, but trees are...
She mentioned something, Eco-Atlantic. It's a big deal now. It's the home for the creme de la creme, right? But it is not right. It's just not right. And we're doing it because, yes, it's real estate. We want to create business. Is making financial sense, maybe.
So how is it?
Like you said, it's in the immediate. We're not focused on the long term until that problem becomes... That's not our focus right now. Until that problem becomes a reality, then we start to scramble and deal with it. And unfortunately, when environmental problems become reality, it costs lives. I mean, the tsunami in, what was that country that happened on Boxing Day? The one that they made a movie out of. It escapes me now. But, you know, when these disasters happen, they do have significant impact.
Absolutely.
So we should be more mindful.
We should pay more attention. Yeah. All right, so Uti, what did you find interesting in the news?
All right, my headline reads, this one confused me today, but let's see what our viewers think. Southern governors should stop ganging up and issuing threats to get 2023 presidency. And this is by the former governor of Kano State, Ibrahim Shekarau, who has said that the 17 governors should stop ganging up and issuing threats to get the 2023 presidential slot. So, of course, our current president is serving a full 8-year term, and he's from the north of Nigeria. So, as has always been our way to keep unity and everybody together, he should rotate around the country. But somehow now, it seems like to sit and plan for where it could land or who the viable candidates would be is a problem. But he's saying that I think the concern there is he's in agreement that it should, for unity, come round to the south, but that these conversations should be done in secret per se, rather than them making public statements and almost trying to create, to fire up the polity is how they put it. So basically go and do your meetings and your party politics, but don't try and stir up the populace, which, I mean, I don't know that, I think that there'll be a larger, more concern for me if there's any talk about it not coming to the south, because for me, I remember in 2015, the populace and the collective were not happy with the government. But, you know, where are we now, 6 years down the line? We're not happy with each other. There's real enmity and hatred among the different tribes in Nigeria. Just go onto social media and see how polarized we are. So if this thing happens to remain in the north, I don't know what is going to happen come 2023, because it seems like we're already in a high tension state about this thing. But let's see what happens.
I saw a headline that I did not read. I didn't the body, but the headline was saying something about a certain, I think it's a governor saying that his problem is not the presidency going to the south, is the fact that we are not asking them first. And that is the problem. And I was wondering, I don't understand. But like you said, I mean, this is, the elites should go back and have the conversation. I think I see where he's coming from when you break it down that way. So yeah, they should have a conversation and do the right thing, because
come back and tell us who the next president
we are very well interested in seeing that rotation happen, because it's not just about the ruling class. It also fosters a level of inclusion for everybody else. So yeah, it is important. Okay, my story, yeah. This is supposed to be good news, right? After 9 weeks, Nigerian doctors call off strike. So it says the Nigerian doctors under the umbrella of the National Association of Resident Doctors on Monday morning suspended its nationwide industrial action about 9 weeks after it commenced. The president of NAD said, "We have officially suspended the strike to resume at 8 a.m. on Wednesday. We made the decision in the wee hours of today. We held an emergency meeting from 5:30 p.m. on Sunday to the morning hours of today, Monday, and the NEC decided that having reviewed the progress made so far, the strike should be suspended." This meeting was between the NARD and NMA. So I just hope that 1 year, 6 months down the line, we won't be back to another strike, and there's truly, that this is truly resolved, or whatever the issues are, which of course I know personally that they've not been truly resolved, but we're happy that they're going back to work.
You know, I was going to say that I think the biker that died, part of what...
Oh, yes.
I mean, we had the story that it was also because of the strike. You know, by the time he got there was no doctor on the ground, but because his wife was the medical doctor, she was able to, but by that time, I think there was already complications, you know, so, I mean, we're losing lives. You know what, so let me just quickly run through my story. It's on, where's that story? I'm sure a lot of us are wondering what's happening to us on Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. It's not working. It's not your Nigerian government, of course. A lot of people are beginning to suspect the Nigerian government.
It's a very panicked call. What's going on? Why is everything down?
It's actually supposed to be a worldwide issue. They said about 3 billion online users were frustrated and unable to connect all over the world today. So it's not so much of just locally within Nigeria. I think, okay, according to the owners Is it not the Zuckerbergs? It says we are working to get things back to normal and we'll send an update as soon as it's possible. So they are just asking for patience. They're asking for patience, and everybody should just understand. I think they're having a lot of issues.
We have a choice than to understand.
We don't have a choice. So the social media tools, including Facebook own Messenger service, were first reported for not being available from around 4:25 p.m. That's today. That's according to the U.S. time. Users visiting the social media platform owned by the Silicon Valley guru, that's Mark Zuckerberg, are confronted with error messages. So, but Twitter, I think, is working. So we're unaware that people are experiencing issues with WhatsApp at the moment. That's what they said. But now I'm sure they are aware that WhatsApp also is not working. Facebook is not working. Instagram is not working. So for those that are wondering what's happening, it's a global problem. So I thought to mention it. So don't think it's Buhari, because the next thing we hear now is that,
they've done it. But by the way,
Bubu is testing.
This is me begging, not calling out the banking sector in Nigeria to do better, because there are some issues that we face we're not supposed to be facing. So I don't know how you have money and then you cannot spend your money because
it's not their fault.
Don't call the banking sector without calling the telcos, without calling
all of them, whatever,
ISPs.
However they work and work together.
It's a complete infrastructure.
They need to sort it out, because today has been.
It's not the bank, it's a network. So immediately I went to the gas station today. I was going to go get fuel for my car. And normally I use a POS. They say we should go cashless. You know, and the next thing the lady goes, "Madam, is not working." You know, so I've not been able to fuel my car. So it's not the bank. It's not the bank. It's a network issue.
And the ISPs.
Whoever it is that is their responsibility. It is a collective responsibility. But at the same time, the point is that I cannot spend my money. So it is my bank that I will call. They should call those they need to call to get the job done.
Call the regulators. So they said that we
should
go,
it's NCC I should call.
Wait now, they said we should go cashless. They said we should do more
online transactions. So that's it. All right, so we'll take a break now. I want to talk unemployment and underemployment in Nigeria. Stay with us. We'll be right back.